Okay, that was weird. Let me try that again. All right, I don't know what the hell happened there. It just said your browser failed to play the video. Like, okay, all right, cool. Hey, welcome
Okay,
everybody.
too.
Welcome to our very first Vets Talking with Knife Hands. This is our official political show where this is no fuck around. I ain't taking shots tonight, so I'm not getting blackout drunk like I actually did last Saturday. Thank you very much, Blue Cord Devil, and the others dropping the super chats to make me take. I think it's 15 super chats. I think that night, one shot per. I was over halfway through my bottle of whiskey. So thanks a lot for that, guys. That was a lot of fun, though. Let's say hello. This is, by the way, also, as much as we love our friends of Vets Talking, we do have a couple of non-vets on the Saturday show. This show is strictly veterans because this is no bullshit. We're going to talk about the fucking bullshit, the shit that's happening in politics and happening around the world right now. And it is just going to be the veteran perspective to just rip into this crap that's happening right now. And I hope y'all can enjoy that. So let's go ahead and we'll say hello to our friends here real quick. Navy veteran Shellback, how you doing, buddy?
Doing all right, man. When when they're not, yeah, I'm doing all right.
All right, good. Gotcha. Air Force veteran Mr. Raster Caster, how you feeling about the world right now? What we're going to talk about?
I was black pilled as usual. I have to say that the thing that really I was kind of feeling a little optimistic for a little bit. Don't know why. Maybe just got a little wild hair up my ass. But then the Durham report, pretty much came out and said that told us everything we all knew, and everybody's been eating crow for the last week. So here we are.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing talking about that topic. We don't have that as a setup topic for us, but we can obviously chat a little bit about it. It is amazing that right away the left-wing news for that Durham report that came out, which is funny, a lot of people didn't even I did a live stream on that, and I had people popping in saying, wait, there's a second report came out. No, motherfucker, this is the report. This is the one we've been waiting on for like two and a half years or whatever. Everyone thought that it already come out. No, it finally came out. And it was amazing that how much of the left-wing news was actually having to report. They try to put their spin on, say, oh, well, this isn't what Trump wanted. There's no arrests or anything. And they had to say, but this does look really bad for Hillary Clinton and the FBI. And so there's actually a fair amount of honesty there. But yet still, there is still some. I think it was on MSNBC when fucking Shifty Schiff, who I think just had paperwork submitted by Marjorie Taylor Greene to have him removed from Congress. Fucking make it happen. He was doing an interview, and they said, "Oh, this is a total nothing burger. Look, we wasted all this time and resources for us, and there's nothing there." And okay, motherfucker, go ahead and go through that fucking report, that 306 pages, and you tell me there's nothing there. You lying little sack of shit. Real quick, I do want to hit on this. I want to make a little announcement here for I had it set up earlier and then I restarted my computer. Not that one. We do have new memberships. We have had the Tropic Thunder membership ever since I got monetized. We have now advanced, and now we have a starting tier membership with the Simple Jack membership at $199. Still with the Tropic Thunder at $4.99, and for $9.99, you went full retard. Why the hell did that scroll down? This fucking okay. This thing sucks. Fuck it, we're doing it live. The big there we go. The big access for the simple for the you went full retard. If you do 2 consecutive months at the you went full retard, you will get a free T-shirt sent out to you from Vets Talking whenever we do come out with one, which is going to be very soon. We are going to come out with one very soon. And I would like to give a quick shout out to our members. Recently promoted to staff sergeant, because everyone does get promoted the longer you stay in. And our staff sergeants, Dermy Wormy, Horny Alf, and JB. and at the sergeant level in the Tropic Thunder membership. My Beavers Unit, Hollywood Scholar, Nana Reaper, Devil Made Me Do It, Mad Cheese Mo, Toxic Man Flu, Blue Core Devil, MK Ultra, Ruben Christopher Haynes, and our corporals, because no one here is a cherry private. You all get immediately promoted corporal when you join the Vets Talking membership. We got Cloud, Bruce, Static 2020, and Brobafett, Tracy K, Clinton House, Shellback, David Gillum, Mike McCormick, WG Parrothead, Tina Bojan, and Hojo. Thank you all for being amazing members. And I see Tina Bojan here in the chat. Hello, Mrs. Tina Bojan. Thank you so much for
Bohan.
Is it pronounced Bohan?
No, it's Bojan.
It's Tina Bohan.
Tina, welcome, Tina Bohan, Corporal Tina Bohan.
No.
I'm gonna say hello to
Tina Bohan. Bohan. Yeah. Yeah, make it Spanish.
Puerto Rico.
Tina.
We love Puerto
Rico.
Let's say hello to a few people. Our amazing supporter here, Mr. Blue Cord Devil, said, "Hey there, Adam and everyone. Just stopped by to say hi. Have to get some sleep. Peace and prayers. Watch you 6." Thank you, bro. Thank you for stopping in. Too bad. It's a shame you can't hang out. But I guess he just doesn't want to hang out if he can't get me blackout drunk. Thanks for being here. Tennessee Marine. Good evening, y'all, and hoorah to you, Tennessee Marine. Says happy to be here. Thank you, buddy. Let's see. Raven Rainfall says wash hands. Okay, good advice. Tennessee Marine also says, oh, knife hands. Oh, I didn't get that. I thought that was a syringe at first. We said hello to Tina, and Tennessee Marine would want Lance Corporal. Sorry, brother. I was Army. I have executive authority here to decide on the rank, and I decide on Army rank. Go ahead and sign up. Maybe I'll try to see if I can make an exception for you. But in any case, yeah, Semper Fi, bro. Thank you for being here. We love our Marines. Let's see. Let us hit on our first topic of the day, of the night. Oh, yeah. Bud Light. Bud Light, after that amazing debacle with Dylan Mulvaney. And oh god, I guess I wasn't supposed to say her name anymore, right? His name. Anyways, Bud Light is trying to make up for their massive fuck up. They already tried pushing out that ad with the Clydesdales and trying to push patriotism and all this amazing stuff going on, all over the country. Basically, just trying to kiss everyone's ass and say, "Hey, look, we still love America." Now they're going even further with camo print beer bottles as the latest effort by Bud Light to please customers after Dylan Mulvaney disaster. And here they are here. Of course, this is, I don't know what the fuck this is over on the right, but here's what they went from, and here's what they went to. What's even more disgusting about this is that this is promoting with the names of fallen service members. So they're trying to kiss our ass by saying, look, we're not really woke. They're going to use dead service members, people who were killed in combat, as a way to kiss our ass and try to get people to buy their beer again. Raster, what do you think about that?
Well, I think my biggest thing about this is that this is like a death spiral for them. It's going to be a case where the best marketing that they possibly could have done is like leave this alone for like 2 months. Basically, for them, the best marketing could be no marketing, because everything that they try to do is just the same stuff out of every playbook that we have seen in the recent years, which is pandering. And their pandering is so visible, considering like they know they can't apologize without doing seppuku on themselves or whatever by falling on the sword with the trans community by saying, hey, this was a bad idea, because then they would have to admit. But see, they tried to do the whole thing where this was not a campaign, but it was a campaign. Everything you do is a campaign. Anybody that does marketing knows that everything is a campaign.
Yep.
And they did this And then they try to dismiss it, that the gaslight everybody. That didn't work. Well, now they're trying this with the whole, the whole commercials that they had on TV with the Clydesdale back, like you said. And then they go come with this. And then I'm sorry, but you're talking about somebody that's very much on the same type of most people in the military that I'm aware of, that I've at least served with. It's pretty much on the same level on political spectrum. And you're going to, throw this out there, and we're seeing it for what it is. We know this what it is. This is totally coming from somebody that obviously did not talk to a vet before they put it out there. And it's definitely coming home to them. And this is not going to go well for them. But like I said, they could have just took a few months off, ignored it. And because how I'll say it, it's probably going to piss people off, but Americans have a memory of a goldfish, and they would probably forget this after the next type of scandal that occurs. So, but they didn't. Yeah, they can't do it.
Well, the next scandal was fucking Miller Lite saying "Hold my beer" with their fucking stupid.
Well, exactly. They could have let Miller Lite bite one for a few months or whatever, and then that would be the big thing. You have Matt Walsh and everybody. Well, you can get up there and do some boycotts and blah, 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 blah. And then he'll go off there and go on his tangents with some pop culture shit that he doesn't know nothing about. And then everybody will probably forget about this. Or at least the majority, most normies would forget about this.
Yeah.
But no, they couldn't.
What do you think?
Well, it's not even Bud Light though. It's regular Budweiser.
I think they're going to do for both. I think
that's the regular.
This is Budweiser
deal,
here, but
like
this is Budweiser here. But I think they're going to do for both.
Well, it's almost. I mean, just going off the picture, it's like, it's like, oh, hey, look what we have over on this hand. Forget about this hand over here. Look at over on this hand what we got here. It's like, like a. It's not even Bud Light, which I don't know. The last thing I heard is that they're kicking old gal to the curb as a reward for her freaking shit show. The head of the Bud Light division lady.
Oh yeah. Well, she got fired, and like the video of her being told she was fired like leaked online or something like that.
But I mean, the thing is, I don't know. I want to know who like she reported to. Like I want to know who her boss is. If it's, and why they why they went ahead and let her go down this road. Because it's, I'm sorry. If for those people who aren't from the land of Budweiser. Like I am, but I mean, I grew up in a small town in Missouri, like 180 miles south of St. Louis. Okay, and so, we grew up, drinking this stuff, for lack of a better term. Yeah, don't drink underage, kids. Disclaimer. Okay. But it's like, that's what we did, back in high school. We'd throw down the old Bud and the Bud Light and stuff like that, because it was cheap.
It's piss beer that everyone growing up, you'll drink whatever the hell you get a hold of when you're younger. Yeah. But yeah, now I mean, it's not an American company anymore. InBev owns it, which is a foreign company. But yeah, here's what the can looks like.
Now that I didn't.
We got a land of the free because of the brave. It says America, e pluribus unum, proud to serve those who serve. It's got something on here about for you, courage and sacrifice. It is nothing but massive pandering. Articles I saw, maybe this is just like a starter of what they're gonna do. Like this is just like an announcement, but yeah, the articles I was seeing was saying that that these are going to have the names of individual fallen soldiers, and it's also going to have folds of honor, which means that they're going to donate to folds of honor, which gives that has money raised for college funds of the children of fallen service members. So yeah, it's nothing but pandering. It's using the names of dead service members who sacrificed themselves and who were sacrificed in combat, and also using their children. You know, they're going to do a campaign, say we're raising money for their children. It's disgusting, man. That's just bottom line. It's disgusting beer, and it's a disgusting company, and this is a disgusting campaign they're doing here.
Yeah. I didn't know. I had no idea about them being owned by a foreign entity now.
Oh, you didn't know about that? Yeah, it's bought by InBev, which is Raster. Do you know what country? Someone in the chat, what country they're from? I don't know.
I think they even talked about like exactly where it was founded at. The town even sounded like it, but it's spelled different.
No. You talking about Budweiser?
Yeah.
No. I'm talking about the company who bought Anheuser-Busch. The company is called InBev.
Oh.
They're the ones who bought
Yeah.
Anheuser-Busch. They're not. I think it's no, not Belgian. In any case, it's a European country. But yeah, it's a foreign entity. It is not American. InBev now runs everything here in Missouri too. Everyone fucking hates InBev. They've got their fucking tentacles in everything here. And it's not it's fucking hot garbage, dude.
The sad thing is they have a monopoly on it.
It is Belgium, yeah.
Well, they own Stella.
Yeah, Anheuser-Busch, yeah, they own. I mean, it is like 75% of every beer you're drinking. There's a good chance it's fucking owned by Anheuser-Busch, which is owned by InBev. Yeah, Stella, fucking Guinness. Elysian out of Washington, I know, is owned by them. There's tons of craft beers out there. People think they're drinking a craft beer, but it's nothing but an Anheuser-Busch product, which again is InBev. So yeah, it's really fucked up, man. And they're sitting here trying to and yeah, Tennessee was saying that is Belgium. Yeah, it's sick, man. I stopped drinking this stuff a long time ago myself. I am a snooty IPA fan, but I'm checking now. I won't drink anything that's coming from Anheuser-Busch. Period. Like Elysian is a really good company. They have a beer called Space Dust. It's a great double IPA. I really enjoy that beer, but I won't drink it. I'm done. I'm done with these fucking people. I'm done with this woke bullshit. Yeah. I'm done with ESG bullshit, and I am boycotting. I'm not going to give my money to any of these woke assholes. What were you going to say, Shellback?
I think Shock Top is one of them brands too, or one of the.
Yep, Shock Top. You got it. Yep, you go right it. I just took a tour of the Anheuser-Busch factory a couple weeks ago when I was up in St. Louis for a Battlehawks game, and this is before all the woke shit happened. And yeah, right there, their beer garden bar there, they have all these taps of tons of beer, which include the Elysian beer, Space Dust, and there's Shock Top and all this other stuff. And I'm looking at all these beers, so these are all Anheuser-Busch products. Yep, they all are.
What about Blue Moon? Is Blue Moon safe?
Oh, I love Blue Moon. Please don't tell me that they own it. I've even heard somebody. I want somebody to correct me on this, and I hope somebody can probably research it, because apparently you got to research everything now to figure out now any of these fuckers own it or not. But Youngling, they say that they're family owned or whatever, but somebody I heard. There we go. What's that right there? Youngling is an American and uses desert.
Well,
they say they're American owned, but weren't they bought out a few years ago?
Nope, they are still owned by the same people. That's why a lot of people are switching over to Yuengling, and it's actually amazing timing. Yuengling just expanded, so we have Yuengling here in Missouri now too. A lot of people, they are switching over from Budweiser and Anheuser-Busch products to Yuengling now, because I can't remember what it is. What's that?
I was gonna say that seemed like I saw something where the head gal of Yingling. She's like
Good,
fifth,
good, good.
fifth generation, fifth or sixth generation. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
good news.
it's still in the family.
All right. Well,
Okay, so
good.
Jeremy,
Means
I welcome Jeremy R says Blue Moon is owned by Bush. So you mean Anheuser-Busch? So
yeah,
okay.
that's just him
Yeah, he's
abbreviating
just
it. Yeah,
abbreviating it.
that sucks. That's actually that was my favorite beer.
Well, there's a lot of good Belgian whites out there you can drink other than Blue Moon.
Do they own any liquors?
I think they do. Someone in the chat, does Anheuser-Busch have liquor too? Because I feel like I remember hearing something about that. I don't know.
All right, newbie. If you want your Lance Corporal rank and everything, you're gonna have to be our alcoholic, aficionado here. So
get on it, Tennessee Marine.
Each crayons and get to it.
Owned by a member of the Yingling family, by the way. Okay, excellent. Yeah, everybody, switch away from that Anheuser-Busch piss and switch over to Yingling. I'm still not a fan of that type of beer, that style, but Yingling ain't bad. It is definitely a better option. All right, he has eaten his crayons. Good Marine. Good Marine.
Hey, Raster. Wasn't it you on Twitter that somebody like tried to own you by saying, yeah, Yingling sponsors Philly Gay Pride, so take that.
That was horny Alf, but I think it was in my thread.
Yeah.
They went somewhere. They went somewhere else with it, and I think Alf said something about Yingling or something. And then they counter with that bullshit. And I think that's where my question came from, because I don't know. I to be honest, I'll admit when I don't know, and I didn't know then, so I kind of like tapped out of that one because I was like, I don't know, man. You might be right. They might be doing it, but here's the thing: is that it's been kind of a running joke. We're coming up on June. Everybody knows these companies are going to be pandering to the LGBTQIA whatever, barbecue sauce, whatever. And they're going to like change all their stuff now with pride flags. Ford's already came out with their new Ford Ranger that's going to have like a rainbow body wrap on it, and a dildo for an antenna. I don't know, but shit, they got that thing, and they released that today. Yeah. So we know that it's coming. We know it's in the pipeline, but the whole Dylan Mulvaney thing is on another level. And that's what bothers people.
Yeah. Craig Thier says, drink Canadian beer. Hangover gang from fan from Canada. Welcome, Hangover
Trudeau
gang.
Light.
Trudeau Light. Yeah, I don't know about that Canadian beer though, buddy. I'm sorry to say.
It is like brewed.
Isn't what is it? Molson,
maple salt,
Molson
maple syrup.
Molson is the big, big Canadian beer, right?
I think Labatt's Blue is the last Canadian beer I ever had.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Labatt's has the maple leaf on it too. I mean, I can't, I haven't had a Canadian beer in so long, so I can't say if it's good or not. But at least we haven't heard any woke messaging come out of the Canadian companies yet. Your government there is a little fishy, but at least there's no bullshit come from those Canadian alcohol companies. So we might give your Canadian beer a chance there, buddy. In any case, thank you.
Just as long as they leave rum alone, I'm good. Okay.
As long as they leave whiskey alone. Obviously, I don't think my whiskey's going to go woke anytime soon. Redneck Riviera from John Rich. I don't think that dude's going woke anytime soon. Wow. However, for woke Anheuser-Busch / InBev.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
Never go full retard. Unless you want to go full retard membership here for $9.99, which you can do joining the Vets Talking membership. Okay, any last thoughts on Anheuser-Busch piss beer?
No, but didn't speaking of whiskey, didn't Jack Daniels get a little woke there for a minute?
I wouldn't be surprised. What are you thinking of? I haven't heard anything, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I can't. I only saw it briefly, so I can't remember exactly what, but it seems like I saw something that said Jack Daniels kind of dipped their toe in the pool of pandering of this nature. So
Again, I won't be surprised. They're just a massive fucking corporation at this point. They have no real loyalties to their customer. All they care about is trying to make money, and at this point, they'll give into the ESG bullshit and all that. So it wouldn't surprise me at all. I don't drink Jack Daniels anyways. Fuck that. That's as far as liquor goes. That's the liquor that you'll drink. If you get a hold of it, you think you're a badass for chugging. I remember doing that as a kid when I was in high school. I thought I was so cool because I'd drink Jack Daniels straight out of the fucking bottle. Shit, that shit sucks. Fuck that. Drink Redneck Riviera by John Rich.
I got to be honest. A lot of your more, I guess, boutique liquors tend to be better than the mainstream stuff anyway, like Jack Daniels and whatnot.
I didn't even know he
And
had. I'm
stuff
gonna
like
have
Jack
to look for
Daniels
that.
and even Budweiser and all that, they're all recipes that was created long time ago. And yes, they were like Pabst Blue Ribbon. It was an award-winning beer back in the day. But then new recipes came out and things got better. So, they were good a long time ago, but they're not anymore. There's so much more out there you can get that has been improved upon. The same Budweiser recipe has been around for 100+ years is just nothing but piss now. Jack Daniels been around for fucking ever. It's nothing but fucking piss now. There's much better options out there. It's heritage. It's people only drink it for
Riviera.
the name.
Redneck Riviera is the name.
Yep.
Okay.
Made by John Rich of Big and Rich. It is a legit patriotic company. And they do in fact donate to Folds of Honor. They're not bullshitting around with that like I think Budweiser is. But yeah, check it out. It's not available everywhere. Although, yeah, my buddy did tell me he can't find it in Vermont, but he did find it in New Hampshire. Vermont is just fucking stupid. The entire liquor industry in Vermont is run by the government. So if Vermont fucking liquor doesn't want to buy Redneck Riviera, then you're not getting Redneck Riviera. And you got to go to New Hampshire for it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on to the next topic here. Oop, that's the wrong button. Let's see. Here we go. Homeless vets are being booted from New York hotels to make room for illegal aliens. Don't call them fucking migrants. What fucking is this from? Oh, this is New York Post. That's why. Okay, they're trying to be fucking PC. They're illegal fucking aliens.
What's the other term in undocumented workers?
Oh, yeah. So what the fuck ever. Kiss my fucking ass. But this is. I mean, I probably should have highlighted this as being the main topic of this stream, because this is definitely fucking blood boiling, angry bullshit right here.
Most definitely.
So for those who don't know, New York was housing homeless veterans in hotels. I don't know what the program is. I don't know what the extent of that is, how long they were going to be allowed in there. But nonetheless, with this big influx of migrants, as New York Post wants to call them, illegal fucking aliens, otherwise known as criminals who should not be in our fucking country. With that massive influx, they needed somewhere to go. And did they just open up a new hotel? Did they open up something? No, let's get rid of the people who actually serve this country. Kick them out, back out onto the streets, and make room for the criminals who should not even be in this country. That's my little rant. Rasser, what do you think?
Here's the thing, is that when it comes to when you see things like this, is that it is like the complete polar opposite of what you expect from, Trump's mantra. and this is coming from with people that have talked with me in the past, that I'm not your diehard Trump enthusiast. To be quite honest, or whatever, I was kind of hoping he would kind of disappear into the void so we could get someone else. I guess the running joke is to get the left a new Hitler to talk about. I mean, because it no matter what you talk about, it always comes back to him, and I'm kind of tired of that being the talking point. However, in recent months or whatever, in the last year, I've become more of a supporter of him because I feel like his story's not finished. And what I'm trying to say is that his mantra was America first. And when you have, your homeless vets, you got people that are in need, these guys come on hard times. Some people that we even know that are like this, and they give them the boot, and you give people that are not even supposed to be here. They had a legal method to be here, but they don't. And as someone that's lived around those areas, those border towns before in the past, and was stationed near them, one thing I've noticed that was very common is that there's a lot of resentment from your third or fourth generation, Hispanic American families living around there, when they see that their family is there that came through the proper methods, and they see these people come in and they didn't pay their dues, they didn't come in through the legal process in order to assimilate into American culture. And here they are. They're not only did they fail to do that, they're now displacing people that have served this country by putting their lives on the line. And that is a smack, and that's just a smack in the face to every red-blooded American out there. Is when you see something like this, it's just totally despicable, and there's no excuse for it. There's no way you can spin this, and no one from the left is going to gaslight me to think otherwise.
Yeah, Showback, what do you think?
Well, okay, New York, Chicago, blue, Democrat strongholds. I am not surprised in the least. But the thing about this with me is, it's I've been there. I have been a homeless veteran, and it's funny, not ha ha funny, but that in my experience, I found that it's easier for a piece of shit drug addict to get help with this type of stuff than it is for us, veterans who have actually, done something with our lives, been a part of something bigger than ourselves. It's, yeah,
Well, Craig,
it's
Craig definitely got a great point right here. Veterans vote Republican, migrants vote Dems. Yeah, that's really it. This is kissing ass to the migrants because they want them here. They want them here because they want them to be voters. They want them to sway the numbers. That's why they're so incessant. They want so bad to give them licenses and the ability to vote. And we know their vote. I can't say that. I almost said something I'm not supposed to on YouTube. Could have got me booted. You guys know where I was going with that, though. But yeah, this is nothing but politics. That's why they want these people here. And also, obviously, it's more kissing ass, obviously, to the leftists as well. But yeah, they don't give a shit about the military. It's the same reason why another topic we might hit on too is the reason why they want to push out what they're calling quote unquote extremists in the military. Really, they just want to label whatever they want as being extremists. And really what that is just somebody who is staunchly Republican or conservative. That is now their idea of an extremist. And so that's why they're being flushed out of the military. So it's it's all politics with these people. They want voting numbers, nothing else. Piece of shit bums get all the help. Homeless vets get the short end of the stick every time. You're absolutely right, buddy. That's why Texas will be a blue state by 2030 if they don't get their shit together. Well, hopefully these sanctuary cities will keep on taking in all the fucking migrants out of out of Texas and Arizona, though. But that's obviously not going to happen. No, it's disgusting, man. They don't give a shit about any of us who are actually patriots, who actually will serve this country because we want to fight for this country. They want nothing but lemmings, people who will follow orders regardless of how fucked up they are. And yeah, they don't give a shit. I guarantee that none of the leftists in New York, I'll bet none of them even have heard about this happening, that these veterans are being kicked out.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I would kind of, they kind of don't, but I guess for a figure of speech is be a fly on the wall and see how these personal interactions are happening. It's one thing to read the headline, but imagine being a bystander in this area and you're seeing this. Can you imagine yourself witnessing them kicking the homeless people out and then escorting these people in?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't be a bystander. I don't think I could. I don't think I would have the civil obedience to be a bystander on this and let this go silent.
Well, you couldn't because you have a soul. There's the big difference. It's the same thing that just recently there was. I was watching this on Crowder earlier, where very similar to the situation of Neely, the black man who was choked by the Marine in the subway. There was another incident. I think it was in San Francisco where a black security guard. This is how fucked up San Francisco is. You need an armed security guard in a drugstore. It was like a CVS or something like that. And oh yeah, hey, I want to say hello to Sheila by the way, who I saw in here. Sheila. Hey Sheila, and also hello Kizzy. I saw a horrific video of a vet breaking down because of the mental health care system for vets. I can't stop thinking of it. I know it's sick. It's sick, but they're more concerned about giving money to illegal aliens and people who want to have sex change operations rather than people who actually need legitimate help, who actually serve this country. It's disgusting. But so this video, yeah, it was a black security guard who had to tried to detain a transgender black female to male. So this person's claiming to be a male, is actually a woman, but it's transgender. And this dude, the armed security officer, tried to put this person into a chokehold at first. Somehow the person slipped out, and apparently during the entire incident, the person's yelling, "I'm going to stab you! I'm going to stab you! I'm going to stab you!" So at some point, the person's outside, and the person approached him, and he pulled his gun and he shot this person. I can't remember where I was going with that now, but one thing that's still interesting. So apparently, everyone there. The point of the story that they were bringing up on Crowder at least was that it was everyone's up in arms because he shot a transgender. It doesn't matter what this person was doing. They are calling for this guy's life, basically, even though he's already been acquitted. That's another thing too. He was immediately acquitted. Like they're not even putting charges on him because he did defend himself, and there's plenty of eyewitnesses to say that he was being threatened to being stabbed. So when this person came at him, he shot the person just like anyone would have the right to do. You know, your life is in danger, especially if somebody is yelling, "I'm going to stab you." Fuck you. You now forfeited your right to live. But the fucked up thing is also though is that he was black and he was acquitted. Not even charged. If that was a white dude, he would already be in the gallows right now. They'd be ready to hang him.
Well, that's what's happening to Mr. Penny.
Here's the interesting thing is that they're talking about it being a transgender person. I'm like, well, the whole thing is they keep telling us and everything that we shouldn't know if they're transgender or not, right?
Yeah, isn't it automatically isn't that just a man?
Yeah, like okay, so if it's a dude, if it's supposed to be a dude, and he goes off and hauls off and shoots him or punches him in the face or whatever, is everybody goes, that was a lady you hit? No, 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 no. We're supposed to be using your logic now. That was a man.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it? I mean, come on now. There's like this fallacy that I just can't understand.
Yeah, it's again, I'm not gonna play a video, but it's going full retard. Never go full retard. God, I wish I could remember the point I was getting at with that fucking story. It was definitely so it had something to do with our military connection here. I completely lost it though. You got any more commentary on the people on getting military veterans kicked out of fucking hotels to pander to illegal aliens?
I mean, the writing's on the wall. It's like it's it's already been said. They're doing this basically they're pandering to their future voter base,
Mm-hmm.
and also creating the racism and all this other stuff that they want to push out there too. It's it wouldn't be there. It wouldn't be there unless they create it. So they have to create it so they can harp on that narrative of vote for me and I'll end all this bad stuff.
Yeah. So I'll get back onto this because we were kind of alluding to this topic as well. Let's see. So this is a move that was happening. This was happening starting a couple years ago. This article came out back in 2021, and this is very so like we were talking about. This is their move. And it's the same thing that they're trying to do with cops as well. They want to get rid of anyone who actually has legit morals and actually wants to protect the Constitution and protect people, as opposed to just blindly following orders. So to go on to what Tennessee said, extremist means white, Christian, or heterosexual. Yep. Or just somebody who, like I said, has good morals. So this is what they're doing. They want to get rid of anyone who can who essentially will be that person who will say no and stir up an issue in the ranks, because they want. Remember also that there was a litmus test. I remember went out a long time ago before I moved out here to the Midwest, and the litmus test was going out to the officer ranks. And I think one of the questions was, if ordered to, would you arrest or fire upon American citizens, something like that. This is during the Obama years. And that's what they want. They want people who, if they give the order to take guns away, if they give the order to lock up citizens because of wrongthink or saying the wrong thing, then they want people to blindly follow orders. And
like that army gal that had that little TikTok video or whatever it was, talking about martial law, and that martial law makes you the enemy, and if you don't get inside your house when we tell you to. Did you ever see that?
No, I don't think I saw that one. I saw the one with the Army Staff Sergeant, a female Staff Sergeant, who was calling for guns, essentially for the Second Amendment to be taken away, saying "fuck your rights," basically.
Here's my thing is that what really annoys me is that who is deciding, like literally, like who they identify who they are. Who is the entity that's going to decide what extremism is? And at that point and everything, where's that line at And then
General Millie.
well, and also on the flip side of that, extreme goes both is on both sides. You have left wing extremism and you have right wing extremism, and then you have all sorts of other types of extremism out there. It could be religious based, like Islamic extremism and stuff like that. You can go anywhere with that. But I was speaking about this earlier with some people, where back when they had McCarthyism, the whole thing with the communist witch hunt. Some people joke around and say, "Well, we didn't go far enough." Well, the reality is that I'm going to sit there and bash. I will bash both ideas. There should not be a witch hunt it should not have been a witch hunt then. It should not be a witch hunt now. And this is all this is going to be a reversal of McCarthyism, something that should not happen. We should have evolved beyond that, but we haven't. So now that the stat that they're trying to make this, because the left has kind of gotten this power, they keep on saying that they're the resistance when they're actually the ones that are in power. And they're not they're the culture now, not the counterculture. We're the counterculture. And with that being said, or whatever, now they're trying to weed out and search out any kind of libertarian or conservative out there that goes against their ideology. Now that sounds very much just like what was happening with McCarthyism, is that someone thought something different besides capitalism, and they said this is communism, something we got to snuff out, and it was completely unconstitutional. And so, I mean, if you really want to get right down to it, if you really believe in what our founding fathers, came up with for this country, the Constitution, you would at least acknowledge and everything that if someone disagrees with you, a different ideology and everything, doesn't mean there's grounds and everything for someone to hunt you down and weed you out of participating in our society. And that's exactly what they mean here. They're going to label it extremism to be other people so that they can weed you out. This is no different.
Well, I mean, yeah, and to highlight what this is saying, before I read this, I'm going to point out like kind of what you're getting at is that they'll label whatever they want as extremism. Just the same thing, like everything is racist. In fact, here, let's go ahead. This is our government right now.
Everything is racist. Everything is racist according to me.
So when you label whatever you want as calling it racist or supremacist, then you can be called an extremist if you actively advocating supremacist, extremist, or criminal gang doctrine, ideology, or causes, including those that advance, encourage, or advocate illegal discrimination based on race, creed, color, sex, religion, ethnicity, or national origin, or those that advance, encourage, or advocate the use of force, violence, or criminal activity, or otherwise advance efforts to deprive individuals of their civil rights. Now, remember, we've been told that silence is violence. If you're not actively supporting Black Lives Matter, then you are committing an act of violence right there. If you support a border wall, then you're racist. So obviously that can be damaging and encourage discrimination. So any of these things that you can get labeled an extremist according to this and be labeled an extremist in our military and get kicked out at this point under anything they fucking want, because everything is racist.
Well, it's kind of one thing we were talking about earlier today, that it's kind of funny if you look back, and I think it's kind of, I want to sit there and draw the line to 2023. They've been using this whole white supremacist kick. It's like that's the buzzword, white supremacy. Like if you go back and watch with Trump's town hall talk or whatever with hairy arms, a nasty person. If you go back and listen to him, saying that, I know you probably understand if you don't want to watch CNN anymore. No one really has until that night. But the thing he kept on saying, count how many times he says white supremacy. Count how many times it says that. And the funny thing is that white supremacy, that term is being used to replace racism, because racism got worn out because everybody used that for everything, just like your little meme video there, that everything is racist. So then it becomes almost dead in the water. It has no power over anybody because they did call everything racist. If you Google anything, you could say, is vanilla ice cream racist? I mean, and it probably they're going to have some article in there about some kind of gender studies or like race, like, heritage, whatever, blah, blah, blah. At some university probably wrote a paper on how that is racist. So it's lost its power. So their next thing they go into is white supremacy. And so now you can have a guy that tries to shoot up a mall that's Hispanic, and they'll tell you straight up without a smirk on their face that he's a white supremacist. Now, instead of sitting there saying that he might be some kind of whack job, but thought he was going to be an edgelord by getting, SS tattoo on his chest, which, by the way, all this was secured from a Russian website, but also we're supposed to trust Russian stuff now. So we see that, and then we never see his face that was associated with it. His family and everything hasn't spoke up about it. But either way, it don't matter. He could be a Clayton Bigsby. It doesn't matter. You kind of dismiss them when when you're a mental case. There's a difference from a mental case and somebody that's a true Aryan nationalist or something like that. They're not crazy. They're just evil. I mean, I don't know how I just put it, but that's not the problem we have. But they're trying to sell that as a problem now, and they're using that, as I said before, like McCarthyism. That's the new boogeyman that they got to weed out and hunt out. And the boogeyman is basically anybody that has any kind of right-leaning beliefs. As someone said earlier in chat, I saw it pop up where it means white, Christian, straight, whatever it is. That's the bottom line.
Even if you're a quote unquote centrist, even somebody who says they're in the middle is their version of an extremist.
Yeah, there's that video. I think it was from DC during the Summer of Love, when a BLM crowd stormed into an outdoor restaurant area where people are trying to eat peacefully, and they're demanding that all of the customers, everyone there who's trying to just enjoy their dinner, stand up and chant with them. And this woman just wouldn't stand up, but she's sitting there trying to plead with them, saying, I'm on your side. I support BLM. But it didn't matter because she refused to stand up. She immediately got screamed at and yelled at, and was being called a racist at that point. If you're not actively yelling and screaming in support of Black Lives Matter and everything else, then you are a terrible bigot, racist, homophobe, you name it. Speaking of terrible people,
real quick, Adam, I just want to tell Tennessee Marine that I see and hear his avatar. Okay, I like it.
What is the avatar there? I can't make it out.
It's one of the guys from the original Red Dawn. That's the scene where he's up on the bluff yelling Wolverines. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah. Nice, dude. Hell yeah. Rock on, Shellback, he says. Hell yeah. All right. Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of thing that definitely, shit, if we had a bigger panel, I'm sure we would just go on all day long on this shit. Is this one of the Patriot Front fuckers? No, it's Oath Keepers. That Patriot Front
I got shit, into it with some people, some Patriot Front people today. I saw that. It was on Twitter. It was the dumbest thing in the world. Okay, so I had this guy. I don't know why in the world he follows me, because I mean, his bio, I guess it was a hate follow, but he never really interacted with me before. But either way, he's a lib left anti-statist. Now, if you're anti-statist, then why the hell are you defending the government? But that's neither here and there. But he was basically laughing at the common and I say common because I have yet to find anybody, any kind of right leaning pundit or anybody say otherwise. It's been commonly said that these people believe this is a Fed psyop, and I mean, you got people I don't even like Elijah Schaefer, and that dude down there says, and that guy does. I know if anything, I mean, for God's sakes, you can. Elijah Schaefer is probably one of the few people that I've seen actually sit down and talk with that. What's that retard's name? God, the Groiper dude, Nick Fuentes. He'll actually sit down and talk with him or whatever, and all that kind of jazz. But so so he says that he doesn't know anybody from Patriot Front, never spoke to anybody from the Patriot Front. And so this guy was going on saying that it's a joke that everybody thinks is a Fed operation. This is the next thing that they could say is that the Antifa was Feds. And I'm kind of like on the edge. I said, okay, the point with what we're trying to make here is that we have healthy amount of skepticism, and you're totally ignoring the fact that the Feds have done this in the past. It's not a matter of conspiracy theory. It's actually dated fact. Okay, CIA, Los Angeles, crack. I mean, we know this, that they make TV shows on this shit, but that we're supposed to ignore that now. And I'm like, they don't do that anymore. Well, tell me the date and time that our government decided, you know what, we're going to play it clean now. No, they never have. They never stopped. It's always been a game to them, and it's all about power. And it just bugs me to like it just bugs me that is the normie perspective, is that the government plays, plays by the rules with its own people every day. And so this guy was going on and saying that, that this nothing proves anything, despite the fact that they were in the knelt down position. If anybody in law enforcement knows, you do not put anybody in a knelt down position with their hands put behind their back and anything with any kind of face covering. And especially one, I'll be like, okay, you made a mistake. But when you have a whole crowd that you have in the exact same position, wearing the exact same uniform with the same facial coverings, covering their nose and mouth, that's a big no-no. Somebody out there is an idiot, or this is completely organized. And the next thing is that you unmask them immediately during this process. Not off the way. You don't just leave. You don't allow them to keep their sunglasses on. You tell them, they remove the hat, you remove the glasses, and you get a clear view picture of what they look like, because you're going to run them through a program called NCIC. It's a national database and everything that checks to make sure there's no outstanding warrants for this person. Also, there might be any kind of court orders.
Yeah, you have this entire, like, dozens of these people all allowed to keep their exact uniform on, their masks on, their hats on, all standing there, kneeling down, the exact same position. And I love that, it amazes me that I never even realized this myself until Joe Rogan said this. In the Patriot Front group, which, Raster, if you want to pull up a picture of them, we can show a comparison. There's no fat people. There's no fat people. There's no old people. There's no long hair. Every single one of them look like fucking Navy SEALs. This right here, this is what a fucking right-leaning group will look like. Or any fucking group for that matter. You're going to have old people. You're going to have people out of weight, overweight. You're going to have women, long hair, facial hair, everything. This dude right here, by the way, this is one I thought that looked like he could be Patriot Front, but he does have Oathkeeper on there, so he's just looking a little bit more spiffy. But this is what a real right-wing group looks like. If you want to call it militia or whatever, which Oathkeepers aren't militia, but you'll have people of every age. Those fucking Patriot Front fucks are high and tight, everyone in the exact same uniform. That's another thing too. No one wears the exact same thing. Like these guys, Oathkeepers have their own merchandise, so you have people with shirts, but they're not going to be in the exact fucking same uniform. That Patriot Front is, crazy. Yeah.
Well. The thing is, I'll take it that. Here's the thing: is that when I say feds, it's a very generalized term. I think when to sit there and say that every one of them is a fed would not be an accurate portrayal of what I actually believe here. I do not believe that all of them are feds. what I do believe that it is an operation that is strongly operated through a federal entity because of the fact that this is kind of like the Whitmer thing, the whole Whitmer case. Yes, they did arrest people.
Fuckers.
Yeah, so they did arrest. They did arrest civilians in relation to the Whitmer kidnapping thing. However, I think I want to say like almost half of them were instigating this. Basically, you had a guy says, "I really hate that Whitmer lady," and they kept being a thing that they kept on repeating. And then someone would say, "Hey, wouldn't it be nice if?" And then you get so then the feds come in and say, "Hey, what if we just go ahead and do it?" So this is where they stepped over the line and they provoked this to happen. So you took people that are already on the cusp of being like, a little bit on the stupid side, and you push them over the edge. I think Patriot Front is very similar to this, but I do believe that what they do is they recruit because they don't actively really do anything. They really what they do is call these flash marches. They just appear and then they disappear. They don't, and no one knows why they really do it. They just show up and do it. They don't. It's no particular an event like the most recent one they had. But the reason why they do that, they said they need bodies, so they record. They bring in somebody that would be very easily manipulated, someone that might have fell on hard times or something like that. Or might not be. It might be just they're just completely stupid. But they would bring them in so they can fill in like a few people in this herd. Then, but the most part, I believe that this thing is organized, by the feds. The case point being is that you notice, okay, in this picture right here, that they're all have their face covers. I mean, not one. I think maybe that guy in the front might have his little nose peeking through. I'm not sure. It's kind of like really poorly pixelated.
No, you can see every inch of their face is covered, including these fucking big
right. I mean, you could even get people and everything during like COVID or whatever in the early days and everything to wear the mask with at least one of their nose, someone's nose poking out of it, or wearing it on their chin like a chin diaper. I mean, you mean to tell me that you have everybody that's like towing the line this strong, and then on top of that, they usually come in with a police escort. So, and usually a police escort, that means that somebody called ahead of time. Somebody, and some places require a permit to do that. All right. So what happened with the Metro PD is that they were allowed to go down into the subway tunnel, and they were not, and allowed no one to go with them, not even press. So you don't even allow press in there. Now so that means it tells me that you don't want someone to go down there that could potentially see them when they unmask. And that all sorts of stuff. I mean, no, that's beyond police protection. That is some police protection I never even heard of. And then on top of that, I've noticed that a lot of they do these flash marches for a reason. It keeps them from encountering Antifa, because if they actually encountered Antifa or any sort of real opposition, which probably would even opposition would come from the right at this point, because so many people on the right are tired of these fucks, because they're just their mere presence and everything whether they're really white supremacists or not and everything. I've read some stuff for the website and everything. It does sound like some racist shit. And I mean, I wouldn't go as far to say that they're Klansmen, but they're probably racist now from the crap I've seen. I think I had a quote earlier and then that was on Twitter that was taken directly from their website.
Well, I guarantee it's why they're going with these white masks. They want to look like fucking KKK hoods.
Yeah. So I mean, so they're not making any effort to dispel this notion or whatever. So it leads me to believe and everything that they're a constant presence or reminder. They're going to pop up every month or so that CNN, MSNBC, and any leftists out there have this poster child to point to that says, "Look how rampant white supremacy is in America." They march all over the United States all the time. In reality, they really don't do anything. They just appear and then disappear without anybody knowing who the fuck they are. But
Yeah.
this happens. This is going to happen more often. I think they're going to show up in a lot of different places or whatever. It's probably going to be the same group. They're probably on a bus somewhere in a Greyhound or whatever they rented. I don't know. But
I
the
know
thing
people
is,
who are. Go ahead.
yeah, I think I'm going to say that I ran. I mean, for God's sakes, and everything, we have people that were in the KKK that ran for Congress. I think what's his name, Senator Byrd or whatever. That Joe Biden went to his funeral for it and everything. Was like a grand wizard or some shit. I mean,
Yeah,
but no one knows who the
weird, like Grand Cyclops, some weird shit.
yeah,
like
some
that.
kind of whatever Cyclops, Wolverine, whatever the fuck he is. I don't know how the rank structure works. But the thing is that with these guys is that they show up or whatever, so they don't have any opposition. And the point of that is because then if they did that, someone would probably unmask them. And there was an altercation that wasn't going around on Twitter where one of these fuckers actually took somebody's cell phone that was close to the ground, recording them, and coming from someone with that was prior law enforcement. The dude sound like a cop. I will sit there and say, if you want to stereotype somebody and everything, he totally earned it because that dude sound like a cop because the way he took his phone and the demeanor that he talked to him with such authority, and it was very clean the way he spoke to him.
Yeah, I heard that too, and like I said, and that just gives more credence. I mean, the guy probably got very well could have been FBI and a former cop, and I have to disagree with you on what you're saying about like recruiting, like just like nobodies. I think a lot of these guys are like wannabes who want to get into the FBI or maybe are in the academy, and they're being told if they do this, then they're gonna be fast tracked. They're gonna get promoted and all that. Because if you think about this, one issue that I have with Crowder is Steven Crowder always he refutes and refuses to believe in so many conspiracy theories, quote unquote, because he says, look, somebody will talk, somebody will speak up, somebody will say something. No, there's compartmentalization, motherfucker, because he's arguing about like Area 51 shit like that. There's a reason why it's compartmentalization. But in a case like this somebody would say something. Like if there was just some fucktard who's just pulled off the street, how are they going to keep that person silent, and say, hey, I'm not really with them, but they paid me $50 to do this. No, I think these are somebody who has some kind of a connection to the federal government. A lot of them probably are just younger idiots who think they're going to be fast tracked, being told to do this, and they'll get promotion or whatever. Because otherwise, there's no way you can just keep somebody quiet. If they're going to say, "Hey, $50, put this on and march with us," somebody's going to say something, but nothing's coming out.
With a group like this, I mean, this is a very common tactic back in the day. I think this was during before we had our workers' rights and stuff like that, before they were allowed to form unions and stuff. Whenever anybody would try to with old factories and mills, and I know this because I grew up in a mill town, near a mill town, and the thing is that if anybody tried to speak out or rally or organize or whatever to try to get more worker rights and stuff like that, they would have, I think it was called a ringer. The corporate entity would actually, or the company would send out a ringer into the crowd, and they would actually basically rile them up or whatever, to basically turn it violent, so it turned against them, so they'll have a reason there, then have law enforcement show up and everything, come in and bash them heads and stuff like that. The ringer will basically, because it doesn't take much and everything, it just needs somebody to light the fire. And I think this is pretty much what Patriot Front is. That they'll find that you say in this picture for itself right here. Let's say that only 10%, and that's just being gracious here with this, is that say 10% of these are actual federal agents. Say that they're really field FBI agents, green, whatever.
This guy right here looks like fucking what's that hostage? The FBI have their fucking SWAT team guys, and it's like a hostage something, HT, something like that. I guarantee this guy right here he's acting like the platoon sergeant here. This guy is a fucking FBI agent. I guarantee it.
Yeah,
you're right.
It won't take. You don't need all of them to be a federal agent for this to be quote unquote feds. It's the what pushes it, what directs them, what makes them know that they got to go there.
Rescue team, I think is what it's called. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's their agenda is set by a entity, and it's not set by the local retard that they recruited. This is I firmly believe this is no different than any other operation that they have, like they worked before, like the Whitmer case. But this is the thing, is that just like with drugs and stuff like that they put out there, they have to have the government's always had to have a boogeyman. They always had to have some reason to go before Congress, say, hey, we need more money, we need this, we need that. And the reason why they keep, like I was going back to what I said earlier about with white supremacy, now they went from this nebulous thing of racism where everybody can be racist. Everybody, every race and everything, despite what most leftists would tell you, is that everybody can be racist. And that didn't narrow it down enough for anybody. You can't just sit there and say, hey, Congress, the FBI needs more money because racism. That doesn't work. But when you say white supremacy, oh, that's different. That really narrows it down to a racial group. That really, I mean, that really it puts a target on some people's backs. And see, the thing is, they need an example, and this what you're looking at right now is the example they're going to use to get that money. It's going to be just like with with most local law enforcement agencies. They love to find a car with a ton of cocaine in the back and everything. Not because the fact that, hey, we got this cocaine off the street. No, they're loving it because they're going to get so much federal funding from it, and they get to seize the stuff. And I say this as former law enforcement. I'm telling you, and that this is exactly what this is. This is just they're not going to really do anything. No one. They're not burning crosses in black people's yards or anything. They're not doing anything like that. They're not even stirring up real violence. To be a matter of fact, there's other right wing groups that cause much more trouble than these dudes are. But the fact that we know that this is a psyop and that they will be used as the poster child to push what we were talking about earlier with the military. They're making the problem seem a whole lot bigger than what it really is. Yeah. There are white supremacists. I'm not going to lie about that. That white supremacy exists. Go to a prison, you're going to find an Aryan Nation guy right in there in a cell block. But there are fringe.
But that's the problem, is that with like actual like KKK groups and all that, they're so hard to find, and they're really in small numbers. Like you do not see that popping up hardly at all. I mean, what's the last time we can even think that there was actually something like that happened was Charlottesville with the fucking stupid tiki torches. When is the last time you can think of in the last 10 years that you've actually seen a group, especially one of this size and this well organized? It doesn't happen. That's why they need to have this be the psyop right here to make it look like white supremacists are this well organized and they're marching and they're well, equipped and in uniform and all this shit. It's just a psyop because there are no actual groups this well organized.
What I'm really looking forward to with this is that I said this earlier and I kind of meant it. I was like, I would love.
Kizzy, calm down. Holy fuck.
Yeah. Is my camera on? The thing it really I really love to do, and if anybody with my boy O'Keefe, if you're listening, I would definitely love a job doing this, at least for like a contract work, is dress up as one of those dudes. Like, and then hide in a crowd because there's going to be a crowd forming on the side of the road or whatnot. And then
you can do that. Go to his website. Have you not heard about that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. What's it called now?
O'Keefe Sheila knows it. O'Keefe something group. But
media.
You can fill
O'Keefe Media Group.
I would love to put a hidden camera on myself and dress up as one of them because it's not hard. And I mean, they cover their face or whatever. And I know in a crowd, I know for a fact in a crowd that if you were to like kind of blend in with like some bystanders or whatever, and with your get up covered up, and then pull up the mask or whatever, and then as they fumble around or whatever, especially if you get somebody hollering off on the other side there and then distract them to make them look the other direction to think the threat's coming from another direction, and slip in that line and then see where they go. I would love to have a camera and watch where they go. Yeah, this might be a real life dox, but fuck it. This is a different type of scenario. I would, if it's, for example, imagine if you could have gotten to that group to go down that subway with them. Where would they go? I want to see if they get on buses, and then where those buses go. I want to hear the conversations other people have. And the thing is, they don't have, a lot of them probably don't recognize one another. So you might blend in, and you could take your mask off with them, and they will not think the wiser. I don't know. It's just one of the things I would love to find out. And then what they're going to do? They're going to kill me. What are they going to do? I was there in a public space. Y'all invited me and said and let me onto your bus.
Yeah. Stupid logins 1. When I was in the Marine Corps, if someone was identified to be a white supremacist, he would have been taken behind the barracks and dealt with. These guys look military. They are on loan from CC. Is that Canada? Somebody was making a comment about them being on loan from Canada. Yeah, he said the same thing here. I mean, that could be too. Yeah, well, I mean, one thing, the reason I wanted to highlight that, there's no real racists in the military. They don't last long. If somebody does join the military and they are actually like legit, especially outspoken racists, then they're dealt with. They don't last long in the military. But they get the fucking communist Canada. Okay, I got you. Fuck, what else was I gonna say? My brain's not working well tonight. But yeah, no matter what, I mean, we can debate all we want on who these fuckers are. But one of the other things I was gonna say, I know people who are tied into all these different fucking types of groups with the Oath Keepers and all that. No one knows anyone from this fucking Patriot Front group. Not a single fucking person does. No one's ever heard about these guys except for on the news and their fucking website. So it's a bunch of fucking bullshit.
I researched the guy. I don't know how you pronounce his name because it was all text that I was reading. His name is Rusal, something like Rusal, the guy that like formed it or whatever.
Tennessee, the guy was taking off. Thanks for being here, buddy. I hope you'll pop into some more streams. Check us out on Saturday too, man. I get fucking wasted drunk off of fucking from super chats.
Well, good having you on here, Tennessee. But
thank you, Tennessee.
The whole thing with this guy was very young. Very, very young, and I think he had like some military background as well, and I never heard what his MOS was or anything like that. So God knows what he was doing. But he looks like your type of Unabomber type or whatever. But I have to look it up again. But either way, the guy seemed like it'd be pretty much a nobody. He didn't really have no backing. No one with a backing that hardly ever appears on any podcast or anything like that is not going to get this much of a following. But notice no one ever talks about him though. They might feel, you have to research to figure out. You probably didn't even know the guy's name or whatever until I told you. But everybody knows about Patriot Front and them being white supremacists. But so that tells you right there now. So you mean to tell me that this guy? And I think they actually separated from Vanguard. So they've been around since like 2017 or whatever. But it's not until now that anybody really gives a crap about them. Where is that coming from? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, I used this example before. If people aren't familiar with the trickle down economics thing the Democrats like to talk about, it's a complete bullshit claim. The Democrats claim that Republicans have a policy called trickle down economics, where if we I can't remember exactly how it goes, but in other words, it makes the tax ideas of the Republicans look bad. So they always attack and say, look, trickle down economics. We were told by the Republicans that trickle down economics is going to work, but it hasn't worked. No Republican has ever said anything about using trickle down economics. It's not a fucking real thing. They just completely made it up to make Republicans' tax policies look bad. It's a complete fucking fabrication. And now it's the same thing with this. They're, they want to say, hey, look at all this fucking, white supremacy going on. So they need something to point at. So they create the fucking Patriot Front. And then on top of that, also, they just need to change the language and just call everything white supremacy or racist. But yeah, it's all fake. It's complete bullshit. It's all made up. And it's the only tactic they have now, and the only reason they get away with it is because the fucking media covers for them, and they just continue to push the lie.
And
I mean, at some point now, I'm kind of. Oh, go ahead, Shellback.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say because I'll have to look it up myself, but if this Patriot Front, if these Patriot Front people, if their website really does have white supremacist type freaking rhetoric in it, that's just par for the course, because they're people will see that, and then then they see the word patriot in their name, and therefore patriotism is bad,
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
Well, we can say
all right. Okay, I actually pulled up some here now. I'm gonna read this little quote from a. I'm not even give them the benefit of actually me reading the source. It's common.
You wanna share the screen? I can pull it
up. Yeah. Let me see. Well, I'll just give it to you.
You can drop in the private chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop in the private chat.
All right.
Basically, if you scroll down, it'll say who is the Patriot Front's leader. I'm bastardizing his name, but no, he wasn't military. It says, while working for his high school newspaper, Rassau frequently wrote opinion and columns in support of conservative topics, including controversial campus carry law in Texas and North Carolina since gutted bathroom bill, and has since been an ardent supporter of Donald Trump since 2016. Ooh. This is also coming from the Southern Poverty Law Center. So that's basically the quote, Southern Poverty Law Center is a joke these days. They're a leftist group anyway. Under what's his name's direct leadership, Patriot Front's Texas chapter is its most active, relying mostly on flyering, banner drops, and occasional demonstrations. And when the organization ventures off the internet, its activities are primarily conducted in the dead of night anonymously.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we just saw a lot of stuff during the day.
Yeah, I've never heard of any of this. Any of this.
Yeah, and this is just me going on my autistic rabbit hole for the day or whatever. I go through one by each day. So, but if you scroll down a little bit low, it says what makes it different from other white nationalists and white supremacist groups or whatever. The part that I can't stand behind. So I'm not going to say anything behind the Patriot Front or whatever. It says right here, a central tactic of Patriot Front is flash demonstrations, which is what you see. That means that they're not going to tell you where they're going to appear. Now,
right.
And so that means that they're privately planned and unannounced events that allow groups to promote their beliefs. What's their beliefs? I mean, when these people, they just march.
Right.
I didn't see anybody talking in the videos. They just march holding up banners. If it wasn't on any other banners, you wouldn't know what the heck they said. I think with that one that said "Take Back America," whatever.
Yeah.
And it says limiting the risk of individual exposure, negative media coverage, arrest, and public backlash. So, but it says individual exposure and negative media coverage, which they're going to get negative media coverage. They're getting it now. and
Well,
arrest
look,
and public backlash.
look, with this bullshit, they're saying that they're spreading, this, fucking all the shit here. Like, all they need is just somebody, like we're talking about. Hey, go put this stuff up here. Talking about if it's one of these fucking Fed agents, just go throw this, put these posters up, put this over here.
Yeah.
And it's nothing organized by any actual group, but they can connect it and say this is Patriot Front doing this. And so now when Patriot Front marches, look, these are the white supremacists who are putting out the propaganda, all this racist rhetoric and all this stuff. And it's not. This is the example. This is a perfect example. This is a propaganda fucking Fed operation here.
Yeah, I think I was going to say, where was it earlier?
Let me see
the group's manifesto. Here it is right here. So what is Patriot? What they believe? It says Patriot Front justifies its ideology of hate and tolerance. Well, this is coming from somebody else. I'm going to read exactly what the quote that they gave from their actual website. An African may have lived. Now, everybody that's listening, I'm quoting Patriot Front's website. These are not my beliefs, and this is not me saying this or whatever, and this is not Adam or anybody else in this channel saying this or endorsing this. This is clearly a quote from these retards. It says, an African may have lived, worked, and even been classed as a citizen in America for centuries. Yet he is not American. He is likely prefers to be labeled an African in America. Now, it goes on further to say, it says the same rule applies to others who are not the founding stock of our people or do not share common unconsciousness and conscious that permeates through the greater civilization and the European diaspora. Now, that's racist as fuck. Meanwhile, absolutely. I would love for a Native American to go tap their assholes on the shoulder and go, hey, y'all get the fuck out of here. I mean, if you want to get right down to it, I mean, call it a spade a spade. I mean, the thing is that this is just basically some kind of like, white supremacy elitism. Yeah, that shit right there. I mean, it's just, what does that say? Conquerors not the
thieves.
Yeah. It's the Mayflower.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like you talking about. This makes no sense. I was never, in law enforcement, but even I know. Well, we were trained on how to take prisoners in Iraq. And even there, we knew full well, you expose their fucking face. You get a good look at them. If they're wearing a hat or anything like that, you take it off. I knew that at least, but I've never been in law enforcement here, but I know this makes no sense to let them keep all this gear on. They are completely hidden as they're being put in the flex cuffs. This makes no fucking sense whatsoever. I'll play this video, see what happens.
Obviously, we got termites.
Fuck you, Ad. All right. We'll let this go ahead and play through.
Well, the thing it kills me about all this that people say they said, well, they got arrested, they got pictures of their mugshots, and I said, well, here's a funny thing that a lot of people don't realize, that do you know that when undercover agents, especially like vice agents and stuff like that, as someone that has actually worked undercover before, you get arrested along with the people. The state gives you an ID to be arrested under. It has a fake name, address, and whatnot. And a lot of times that they get part of this booking process. And part of this booking process is a dual purpose in it. What happens is that you get the opportunity to get like a confessional without having to read them their rights or whatever in their presence.
Did you see what I just saw someone with their mask off? I think that was the founder dude. Yep.
Yeah, that's him. That's him.
So he's the only one. He's the only one that let him see his face. The only one is the guy that they want to be the face of this group. Is that fucking dirtbag?
Right.
I guarantee. He's set up. He is set up. He is fucking. He's probably being told, if you do this, then you're not going to prison for some fucking crime he's committed. I guarantee.
Now here's another thing. Out of these people here, they do have their mug shots. available.
Okay.
But here's the thing. But like I said, is that I want someone to tell me and everything and go through all these or whatever. Say, I want you to verify that none of these are informants, and that there were, and I want to know that if their handlers were truly arrested along with them.
Right.
This is the stuff that happens or whatever. These when undercover officers, they get arrested with these people because they can't break the cover. It's not gonna hurt them. They get put in the block. If anything, they get treated like they get treated just like everybody else or whatever. They don't know the wiser, and what they do is they get an unsolicited confession from somebody without having to read their rights. They don't have to do Miranda rights or anything if they get an unsolicited confession. Everybody thinks as soon as you get arrested, you get your rights written to you. No, you only get your Miranda rights written said to you if you're going to be questioned while being arrested, and with that has to be something to be questioned in regarding the crime that you're being suspected of or charged with. Meaning that they can ask you your name, you can do all that kind of stuff because that's not part of the crime, but the thing is that if they're in the cell with them and they're just talking to you like you're one of their friends or whatever, yeah, they're probably more likely to tell you everything that they did or whatever during this time, and then they can hook them up for this in court. But the thing is, with a lot of the stuff that's going on, whatever they say, 31 members. Were there only 31 members that actually attended?
Yeah.
I mean,
what were they even being arrested for in this? What were they doing to give them the excuse to arrest them?
It says charged with conspiracy to riot. In my state, they don't have that, so I don't know how you get charged with a conspiracy to riot.
Were they rioting or were they just marching?
Well,
because we've never seen them do anything other than march.
Well, that's just it. Maybe this might be some more liberal area or whatever, and they could justify the shields being enough. I don't know. This is some weird arrest. And be honest with you, charged with the conspiracy to riot. They didn't actually a riot.
Yeah. Well, what's their evidence of saying that they were conspiring to do that?
And obviously, you see right there on the scene that their leader was out there. So I mean, how do you know that these ain't the scapegoats? How do you know that these are the dumbasses that said, "Hey, go here," and they know they're going to get arrested?
Yeah,
this shit happens all the time, and people act like this is like some kind of wild conspiracy theory. I was like, no, this is nothing unusual.
Yeah, they've been doing this for a long time, but of course, the leftists don't even know that. They have no idea.
Well, if here's the thing, if we had this belief with Antifa, and the left and the people on the left were upset that these type of people, that was Kizzy, that was a charge. It was some the area that they're in actually have a statute where it's called conspiracy to riot. Not every state has that.
Raster, I'm telling you, dude, the fact that like we were talking about, the fact that they left their masks on, left their hats on, I think it was all staged. I think that they staged it from the beginning. To legitimize, to make sure that it gets on the news, to make them look dangerous, and therefore make us look dangerous is the entire reason behind it.
Now, I would like to look up because I went through and looked at some of the mug shots and stuff from these people and who they were. I only saw the booking stuff for them. I would like to look back into it further. This was me having to go through more research or whatever, more time to actually look about if they were actually convicted of it. Because it's one thing to be charged with something; it's another to be convicted of it. And conspiracy takes a lot usually in most cases. My state doesn't have conspiracy to riot, but I do know that we do have conspiracy charges in other types of cases, and everything that is ever labeled with conspiracy takes a huge amount of information or whatever and evidence or whatever to prove that there was conspiracy. It's almost like it's like a criminal version of defamation. In our justice system, it takes a lot to really prove that. But then again, I want to let the.
See, that's a great compliment. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's all my doing. It's okay. No, I'm just, but no, I want to let everybody know clear that's watching this is that I'm not an attorney or anything. I'm speaking from experience with this. But I can say pretty sure that any of this is I mean, if you look at it for what it is, a conspiracy to riot or whatever, is not an actual riot. But meanwhile, we got Antifa burning down cities and shit, and actually having like demilitarized zones or whatever, taking over Seattle and Portland or whatever. But no one bats an eye at that shit. But as I was saying before, is that you have, and of course, no one on FBI is really looking into that. They say it's just an idea, according to how they say it. But this group is being used as a poster child for white supremacy being a major issue in America. But you have, if the left, we found out that Antifa was looking to be like feds with all the signs that we see for Patriot Front, but being displayed for a left-leaning organization. And guess what? I would be calling it out too. And I wouldn't be mad. I would be understanding and sympathetic to anybody on the left that sit there and think, because it's messed up that the federal government and everything is taking the opportunity to manipulate the general population. That's not what they're here for. That's not their job, but they're using it to exert power because they know this type of conflict is going to drive a wedge, and that wedge is what's going to keep us from being united against them. And it kind of gets on my nerves that I remember the old liberals that used to be, you know, fuck the power and all that kind of stuff. Now it's becoming too much of a trend that now the people on the left seem to be very pro-government. So where do you think the government's stance is going to be? The government doesn't care about your trans rights and all that kind of stuff. What they care about is if you're going to support them. And if you're going to be playing ball with them, then of course they're going to go to bat for you. This is just like with McCarthyism and everything. That was a very right-leaning type of movement that was done by, Senator McCarthy. And the government bit into that because that gave them power. And that's what people forget. The government is not on your side. Tell me why they would be. Tell me they don't see themselves as elected individuals that are here to serve you. They're not. They're vermin. They're out for themselves. And that's the only reason why anybody goes in office. And I say that for anybody that is a Republican or a Democrat.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's I am on the people could consider me a conspiracy theorist because I believe that there is the deep state there. I believe that there are people involved on both sides of the political aisle that really just pushing for this control over our country. It doesn't matter if they have an R or a D next to their fucking name. All it is big government. They want to take our rights away. They want to fucking control us. That's all it really comes down to. And more though, now people can no longer call it a crazy conspiracy theory. Fucking, the meme is absolutely true. Alex Jones was right about a lot of shit. Was he right about everything? No. But he was right about a lot of this shit, and it's really coming down now. It is fucking happening. We're watching it happen right fucking now.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't think that there, like all of these people that, like Rasher was just saying, I don't think they're all, I don't think they're all bad. I don't think they're all, I don't think everyone is in it just for themselves. I'd like to think that there actually are good people out there, but it's a fucking coin. It's like, or you got your good side and you got your bad side, and it's.
Well, the good side is freedom and the bad side is control. That's what they want. They want control.
To me, there's you know, people say, oh, you know, we're like a two political party system or whatever, and I think it's three. Although, you know, the one that I consider the third one is basically, you know, just an extension of one of the others. But you know, there's Democrats, there's Republicans, and then there's rhinos, and rhinos are basically Democrats.
No,
But-
well, I mean, it's like
but-
Bongino
but, you
says
know,
a
they-
lot. He'll say that there are plenty of Republicans who are not Republicans. They are in fact Democrats, but there are no Democrats who are Republicans. That is the bottom line. And the reason that we're getting down to is that really the issue is that the Democrats are the ones who are pushing for the control. So if you want to say which one's better, Republicans or Democrats, the fact of the matter does come down to it is that the Republicans are the good ones, the ones who aren't the rhinos, ones like us. Like I'm obviously listed as a Republican when I come to voting because it's not a fucking third party I really want to support. I'm not going to get into the whole fucking libertarian argument or anything right now, but we can have that discussion another time. But the fact is that those of us who are actually freedom lovers, the ones who don't believe government should control your fucking life, are those of us on the right. But there's also so many who are on the left. The Democrat side is why is the walk away movement. They're leaving because they consider themselves to be classical liberals, or they just believe that the government should not be controlling everyone's fucking life and see what the extreme left is doing as being extremely wrong. So that's why there's a lot of them who are transitioning now over to the right side. But they're not going to continue to be on the left and be secretly a Republican. It doesn't fucking happen. It's happening on our side exactly the same way like the Patriot Front is out there claiming to be right-leaning fucking racist conservatives when they're fucking not. They're obviously actors. They're set up. And yeah, it's all fucking game. And the thing is that we just need more people to wake up to the truth of what's happening. And just like Kizzy is saying, people need to wake up and find Vets Talking. It'd be great if you want to spread the word about the channel. The fact, I mean, I don't think we're underrated. We do have a great fan base, especially ones who like dropping super chats and seeing me get blackout drunk on Saturday night. Check out Skinamax Saturday at 10 o'clock Eastern. But the channel's only been around since January. I think that a lot of people, and even I keep on forgetting that this channel is only a few months old. It exploded the way that it did thanks to all the crazy Hangover Gang fans out there. You guys blew up my channel, got me monetized in absolutely no time. So, but I have a lot of great subscribers right now, but not that many are coming here for the live streams yet. They want to see the Tom McDonald videos. But I know a lot of you are popping in now for this political content. So we're going to keep on doing this every Thursday. We're going to do Vets Talk with Knife Hands every Thursday. We're going to keep on having these political discussions, and because I know that you guys love these kind of conversations. You'll be, yeah. Come on, Raster, show your camera. Oh, turn that camera on. Fucking get that knife hand out.
I'm doing it with my penis. Knife penis.
Oh. But
Ladies.
Yeah. Ladies. But yeah, guys, yeah, spread the word. Let everybody know about the channel. Tell the other Hangover Gang fans out there, come check out the live streams. You know, check this out. We'll be on here bitching and whining about the weird, crazy shit that's going on in our fucking world. I want to do more woke warrior news videos where anytime we get woke news going on in the military, I'm going to produce a news style video of that, calling out the bullshit. And the big thing is too is that I want these shows to be entertaining. I want you all to be entertained, but I want a call to action. I want you guys to take action here. Don't just sit here. Don't just be in our own echo chambers, just bitching and whining. Take action, man. Get out there, talk to people, open up conversations, let people know the truth about what's going on, tell people what's in the Durham report, and talk to your congressman. That's the other thing that I did with the Woke Warrior News thing is I put a link down there that will help you find your congressman. And I want to tell people, if you like this content, you like what we're talking about, then why don't you call your congressperson and let them know. That's my biggest thing, though. I want action to be taken. Oh yeah, hey, look, so yeah, I guess Raster's in the Navy. Yeah.
Hey, you shut your whore mouth.
what's wrong? What's wrong with the Navy?
They're gay.
Speaking of the Navy. Oh, that's another thing I completely forgot. This Saturday on Skinamax Saturday, Navy veteran Ryan Kinnell is going to be our guest on Skinamax Saturday, coming up 10 o'clock Eastern on Vets Talking. So if you're a fan of Geeks and Gamers and FNT, then come check that out. That dude is obviously a massive channel and amazing content all on its own. So definitely check out Skinamax Saturday this Saturday, everybody. I'd love to see you all here. And I think another thing we're going to do to make things a little interesting here, I'm thinking somebody gave me this idea yesterday. Since we do the super chats for shots and I get blackout drunk on Saturday, obviously I'm not going to get drunk on Thursday, especially if we're talking politics. But I have an idea. What I might do is buy some of those ghost pepper chips, a potato chip that is flavored with ghost pepper and it's hot as fuck. And if we get super chats to get up to a certain dollar amount, like I might start off low, then I'll eat one of those live here on Talking with Knife.
God, you're gonna sound like Farm Marshal Bill or whatever by the end of the stream.
It'll suck. It'll fucking suck. I'm not looking forward. I've never had a ghost pepper. I've seen other people take these challenges with those chips and just like immediate tears and snot dripping. So I'm not looking forward to it, but I am interested in trying to make this stream a little more entertaining, because especially right now, this is a test basically to see how this goes. I'm aware that the conversation is a little dry, a little slow. We'll get some more people. We had other people who were going to be here on the stream today. They just couldn't make it. So we'll have some more people on here another time, and we'll find some ways to spice things up. One of those ways is going to be me killing my esophagus with a fucking ghost pepper chip. So
I have to say something though, real quick. You got one person, okay? You got one person from the Village People that dresses up like a sailor, and so suddenly everybody that's in the Navy is gay.
Hey,
we gotta remind you. There's also a construction worker. There's also a construction worker, a biker, a cowboy,
even
Native
Shellback,
American.
even Ryan Kinnell says that 100 sailors go down in a submarine and 50 couples come up. All right, so don't go trying saying it's only because of Village People.
You literally have your name on your britches.
Everybody in the military has their name on their britches.
Not everybody, but to be fair, some in the Army do that too. I don't know why, but yeah, some guys in the Army do it.
Well, that's why you know it's Gay Adam on Ball Busters.
I'm only known as Gay Adam because you called my microphone gay, and therefore that makes me gay, and it's just stuck. So thank you so much for that, Rex.
At least your mic will be loved in June.
Okay, fine. Then where's my damn rainbow? Give me my fucking rainbow then. Damn it.
You don't get a rainbow. You're just going to be called gay.
I want a rainbow. If I'm going to be gay, I want a rainbow.
Let's go ahead and
Richard Simmons
just
going to... Yeah.
No, go ahead. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say now that he keeps on saying that now, like 3 times in the mirror, Richard Simmons is just going to bust up in your bedroom in the middle of the night and everything, have his way with you.
Hey, X-Wing's in the chat. What? Y'all suck dick. Thank you, X-Wing, for that commentary. I met X-Wing when I met Jay Drunk 3PO in Vegas. We've talked about X-Wing is going to be on the channel here in a couple weeks as well. He's graciously agreed to that.
We Red Wings.
He's going to fit in just fine with that kind of commentary. That's for fucking sure. Shellback, where can everybody find you?
Oh, I mean, I've got
Richard
a
Simmons'
YouTube
bedroom.
channel, but I really haven't done. But mainly these days, you could just find me, on Twitter under Shellback TJC.
Cool.
Or your local Pride Parade coming up next month.
Yeah.
I bet you're the kind of guy that would fuck a person in the ass and not even have the goddamn common courtesy to give him a reach around.
No, that's where you're wrong. I have courtesy. God damn it.
You will get a reach around by Shellback. Rastercaster, the man who loves to be the vein in everyone's existence. If you're a liberal on Twitter, and keeps saying he's gonna start a YouTube channel, but still fucking hasn't done it yet.
fucking time, sweetheart.
You got to work up
everybody
the
behind you.
anticipation, my friend. You have to work up the anticipation. You got to make them crave it. You got to give them the blue balls. You got to know when the king is coming. But you can find me on the Twitters at Real Raster. See it right there in my little byline there. And full name is Rastercaster. But I go by many names, such as Dark Lord, whatnot. But I'm happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me on. I usually appear on Skinamax. I also appear on Ballbusters and where else I'm ever summoned. So I'll be happy to see everybody that I see in chat now. I'll appear to the other shows. We'll be happy to have you. And that's it.
Your byline?
Yeah, my byline.
Yeah. And you call me gay. Okay.
Excellent says, much love to the veteran community. Thank you, boys, for everything y'all do. And don't forget Mission 22. What is Mission 22? I may have already forgot it. Okay, if you can drop a comment in the comment there and tell us what Mission 22 is, please let us know.
That I don't know if that's referring, because I've seen it before, but there is there's an organization out there, and it's all because of it's at least at least once upon a time
suicides. Yeah, suicides a day. So it's a veteran suicide awareness program. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. I appreciate that, X-Wing. Check out X-Wing's channel as well. X-Wing does amazing. He's a Star Wars channel, so maybe if you don't like Star Wars, then you won't be into it. But he does amazing Star Wars commentary. Which, by the way, we got to talk, dude. I'll be happy to be on your channel too. I just got done watching Andor, and I'm in the process of watching Mandalorian season 3 right now, which fucking sucks. Andor wasn't that bad, but holy shit, is Mandalorian terrible. But yeah, everybody, thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Shellback. Thank you, Raster. Next week we will be back here again, 10 o'clock Eastern, here on Vets Talking with Knife Hands. And like I said, don't forget, this Saturday, Skinamax Saturday, we have Navy veteran Ryan Cannell, or Kennel, however the hell you pronounce his name. So come check that out. Check out Skinamax Saturday so you can see me get silly fucking drunk. And maybe next week I'll have a ghost pepper chip to eat here on Talking with Knife Hands. That being said, thank you, everybody. Remember, you can always find Vets Talking, jump the GE, and you'll find me here on YouTube and on Rumble and on the Twitters as well. Subscribe to the Twitter because you don't always get notifications here. Papa Susan doesn't like me, so check that out. And you will always get that information on Twitter. And remember to spread this information out there. Let everybody know about Vets Talking so that we can be appreciated, like Vizzy said. Let everybody else know, because remember, you don't got to be a veteran to enjoy this content or get involved in the conversation. Just don't get butt hurt. You've been warned.
Oh, God! Ah!